The Paramurder cast may contain graphic material, not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Paramurder Cast, the podcast where we dive into the unexplained corners of the paranormal or true crime each week. These stories that make you question what's rustling in the dark. I'm your host, Berto.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm CJ.
And today we're venturing into the heart of New Jersey's Pine Barrens, a million-acre wilderness that's birthed one of the most enduring cryptid tales, the Jersey Devil. Imagine driving down a narrow, fog-shrouded road at midnight, your headlights catching fleeting shadows in the underbrush. Eyes, wings, or just the wind playing tricks. This isn't just a ghost story. It's woven into real history. From colonial curses to unexplained attacks that shut down towns. Could the devil be tied to unsolved crimes in the Barrens? Like those eerie disappearances in the 1800s, where tracks led nowhere? Or is it a warning from the land itself?
Prepare to journey into the macabre, where reality blurs with nightmares. This is the Paramurder Cast, where the unseen becomes the unforgettable, and your nightmares find a voice. Let the horrors
All right, guys, welcome into the Paramurder Cast. This is episode 13. It's the Jersey Devil. How's everybody doing?
I'm great.
I'm doing good.
You guys ever heard of the Jersey Devil?
I have.
I hadn't until today.
It's a pretty awesome story. You guys big fans of cryptids?
I am. I love cryptid stories.
Yeah. I think
Whether they're true or not, I just love them because the imagination and the imagery is usually pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Bigfoot's probably one of my favorite things in the paranormal to begin with. I really like Bigfoot stories.
I'm not huge on cryptids, so this is going to be new for me.
Not a big fan of cryptids
Not
at
a
all?
big fan.
I love cryptids.
You'll come across some good ones out there.
Yeah, all the stories of cryptids are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, I did this week want to go ahead and do our opening housekeeping really quick, and it's just a few seconds. And that is that when you're hearing this episode right now, there also should be on the Patreon a brand new Patreon episode, and that's going to be Taylor Shabusiness. So if you haven't subscribed to the Patreon, it's going to be $4.99, and that'll get you access to the Taylor Shabusiness episode. So that will be happening right after this show. So go check that out.
It's going to be a wild one.
Yeah, that one's actually
I've heard
heavily
that one.
viewer discretion advised.
Yes, heavily. That
Yeah.
one's crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be a bad one. So, but I did want to bring back the weekly question. So I was trying to figure out a way to open this back up again to where we have a little bit of good banter at the start. And so I did write down a good question to open that up. And so I'm going to ask it to all you guys, and then we'll just go over our opinions real quick. So in isolated spots like dense forest or abandoned houses, do you think the fear of the unseen just spins paranormal lore and stories? Or is there something real, like undiscovered entities or lingering energies drawn to places where history's pains hang heavy? So, what do you guys think about that? Do you think there's something real to it? Do you think it's our mind that creates these?
It's probably both.
I
Think so?
both.
I mean, you remember that Supernatural episode where they believed in I forget what the term was, but they believed in it enough, it became real.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember the term for it.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, it seems like every time you look at something,
You can
it's always
manifest stuff.
Yeah. It's always an abandoned house.
Yeah.
It's always, millions of acres of woods.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where all those dark stories seem to come from.
Well, yeah, we're all conditioned in our early life to, the dark is scary.
So I don't know about cryptids, but I know when you look into like ghost stories and things like that, the pain of something terrible happening can put an energy into the earth.
That too, yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's in my question is, do you think it's that?
Yeah, the pain of something and a terrible occurrence does leave a scar.
Yeah, it's like all the ghost stories. There's something horrific.
Is that
happened.
scar? Is that scar technically like the soul of whoever died?
Yeah, I mean, and
Yeah.
you would, I mean, maybe these cryptids are a scar left by something that's happened.
Like
That's-
giving birth to 13 children?
Yep. That would be it. So let me just say, giving birth to 13 children.
That
as
would
we
do
come
it.
up on right now.
That is a trauma.
Feat. That is a feat,
yeah.
especially in that time. That is a feat.
Yeah.
Yeah, to live through that.
That's a badass woman. That is a badass woman. So
I was just going to say, I think it's all in people's minds because ghosts don't exist. So,
yeah, I mean, again,
yeah.
he's our local skeptic. That's so you think they're just compensating for basically being in the dark, being scared,
Yeah.
mind playing tricks?
well, it's in the DNA. People are. It's an instinct, survival instinct.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. No, I agree with that. I've heard that.
Back when the Monsters in the Dark was just, a tiger or
A mountain
a bear.
lion, yeah, coming
Yeah.
up to your cave as a caveman, yeah.
Yeah, you see something that you don't know how to explain and your brain just
Yeah, that goes back to what I was
makes it
saying.
up for you.
You've been conditioned your whole life to, fear the dark,
yeah.
fear the unknown. So your eyes could play tricks on you. Or there's actually something there, and that monster at the end of your bed is literally trying to eat your toes.
Yeah.
You ever done that? Make sure
Cover
your
my
toes
feet
are-
up?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was a foot out of the blanket sleeper.
Or you?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
still
that
my
bed
comfort
monster
right now.
loved you, I bet. You're probably sucking on them toes all night long.
Probably did.
Probably like, Daniel.
Yeah. No, I still to this day I want my feet out from underneath the blanket. That's my comfort.
Him and his bed monster get along.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
A little too well. Bow, chicka, bow.
So, but no, I just thought that was a good question to open it up with, man, is just seeing if people are making it up in their head, just compensating for something that's unknown, or if you really think those tragedies that happen in those places actually cause something to be drawn to it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, all you listeners out there, give us an answer.
Yeah,
What do you
let us
guys
know
think?
What you think?
We'll see how it
Absolutely.
feels. Yeah.
So,
So, well, you guys want to get into it?
yeah, dude, let's jump into the Jersey Devil, man. This is probably, at least from everything I could look at, I'm pretty sure the Jersey Devil may be more highly spotted than Bigfoot.
Yeah. He's I would say when it comes to the more sightings, you would probably get Bigfoot number 1 and Jersey Devil probably number 2.
Yeah.
Because he's one of the more famous cryptids that people have heard of.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
For sure. I mean, I remember hearing about him since I was a kid. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so popular, they have sports teams named after him.
Yeah.
So, well, let's get into it, man. Let's start out with a little small history on the Pine Barrens.
Let's start our journey right here, in the heart of New Jersey. Picture a vast stretch of land, over 1 million acres wide, blanketing 5 counties: Ocean, Burlington, Atlantic, Camden, and Cape May. This is the Pine Barrens, tucked between the Jersey Shore's beaches and the Delaware Bay's marshes. It's a place of sandy, acid soils and dense forests, where the short-leaf pines rise straight and tall, their needles carpeting the ground in a soft, reddish layer that crunches underfoot. Cranberry bogs dot the landscape like hidden jewels, their vines sprawling in flooded fields, and streams wind lazily through cedar swamps, giving the air a fresh, earthy scent mixed with the faint tang of peat. The Pine Barrens have a deep history. Long before European settlers arrived, the Lenape people, also known as the Delaware Indians, lived here. They called the area something like the Place of Pines, and thrived by fishing the rivers like the Mullica and hunting in the woods for deer and turkey. But the Lenape saw this land as alive with spirits or manitous. Their lore speaks of trickster beings dwelling in the swamps, shadowy figures that lured the unwary with flickering lights, echoing the ghostly lights locals still fear. Archaeological digs along the Mullica River have uncovered stone tools and arrowheads from these times, remnants of camps where stories were shared around fires, warning of the Barrens' deceptive calm. These native tales add a layer of ancient mystery, suggesting the woods have always harbored the unknown. In the 1630s, Swedish settlers came first, building simple log homes along the water, their thatched roofs blending into the underbrush. Then the Dutch arrived in the 1660s, naming the region New Jersey after the Channel Island. By the late 1600s, English Quakers sought refuge here for religious freedom, drawn to the quiet isolation of the woods, where they could pray without interference. The Quakers, formerly known as the Society of Friends, were a radical religious movement born in the mid-17th century England under George Fox, who preached that every person carries a divine inner light from God, making priests, hierarchies, and elaborate rituals unnecessary. Rejecting oaths, war, and titles like Sir or Lady, they lived simply, dressing plainly, speaking plainly, and advocating equality for women, native peoples, and the enslaved amid brutal persecution, including fines, jailings, and hangings. Fleeing to the colonies, they flocked to tolerant spots like West Jersey's charters, their silent, spirit-led meetings thriving in the barrens, secluded clearings, fostering tight-knit communities of peace and resilience. But this underlying faith sometimes sparked clashes with the world, and each other, over what strayed from the light. This land powered early America. The bogs provided bog iron ore, used in the forges to make tools, nails, and even cannons for the Revolutionary War. Places like Batstow Village and Atzion became busy spots, with ironworks and glass factories humming along amid the constant ring of hammers and the acrid smell of smoke. Workers boiled pine tar to seal ships' hulls and blew bottles from the local sands, their furnaces glowing like beacons in the night. Life was tough. The soil wasn't great for farming. Wildfires were common, scorching vast swaths and leaving charred stumps, and mosquitoes plagued the summers with their relentless buzz. But in built a sturdy community of survivors who knew how to bring life from harsh ground. During the Revolution, the area hid spies and soldiers, its narrow trails a network of secrets winding through the undergrowth, evading British patrols. This is where the Pine Robbers came in. Guerrilla fighters, tough locals who ambushed redcoats and smuggled gunpowder through hidden paths. Picture a midnight raid. A band of men in ragged coats, faces smeared with mud, slipping past checkpoints under cover of fog, their whispers cutting through the pines as they catch supplies in cedar swamps. Howard Green's book, Wood's Patriot, detail how these outlaws turned the barrens into a rebel stronghold. Their daring escapes fueling legends of ghostly protectors, or perhaps something darker watching from the trees. Notable visitors left their mark too. In 1765, naturalist William Bartram explored the barrens, filling his journals with sketches of birds like the scarlet tanager flitting through the branches, plants like the pitcher plants lurking in the bogs, and the misty expanses of the swamp. He saw it as a wild yet beautiful frontier, teeming with life despite its isolation. Nearby, in Bordertown, Joseph Bonaparte, Napoleon's brother, settled in exile and hunted the edges of the pines in the early 1800s, his rifle shots echoing through the trees. Today, the New Jersey Pines Barrens Commissions protects sites like Batstow, where you can walk the old paths, feel the sandy crunch under your boots, and imagine the hammers ringing against the anvil. But the ecology here still feels otherworldly. Acid rain keeps the soil barren, allowing rare species like the pine snake to slither through the duff, and the bogs harbor carnivorous plants that snap at insects. The Pine Barrens Institute notes how these conditions create an eerie silence broken only by sudden cries, making it easy to believe something ancient still prowls. The Pine Barrens shape New Jersey's spirit, resilient, resourceful, and a bit wild. It's the perfect backdrop for our story today, the tale of the Leeds family and the creature they unleashed. Our story now turns to the Leeds family, who arrived from England and settled deep into this landscape. They became part of South Jersey's folklore over generations. Daniel Leeds was born around 1651 in Northamptonshire, England. He came to the American colonies as a young man in the late 1670s or early 1680s and made his home in Burlington County, New Jersey. This was Quaker territory, with simple meeting houses along the Delaware River where folks gathered for worship and community under the shade of oaks, their plain clothes a stark contrast to the vibrant greens around them. Attracted to the Quakers' ideals of peace, equality, and simple faith, Daniel joined the Society of Friends soon after settling, fitting into their tight-knit world of shared labor and silent prayer. But his life took a different turn through his ambitions and evolving beliefs. Daniel was a man of many skills, a surveyor, measuring wild land with his chain and compass, trudging through briars and mud, a farmer, coaxing corn and potatoes from the sandy soil in small clearings, and later, a publisher. In 1687, he started the Leeds Almanac, one of the first in the colonies. It helped people with tide tables for fishing the tidal creeks, weather forecasts for planting amid unpredictable rains, and star charts for navigation, useful tools in this coastal region where the Mullica River met the Pines. Over time, though, Daniel grew unhappy with the Quakers' strict codes, which frowned on anything flavored by superstition or worldly ambition. He began studying astrology, alchemy, and other esoteric topics they deemed sinful, weaving them into his work. This sparked trouble. By the 1690s, he filled pamphlets and almanac notes with criticisms of Quaker leaders, calling them unfair and hypocritical. His 1694 edition even predicted a storm of controversy for them, backed by astrological omens. The feud escalated with tracts like A Tract Against the Quakers in 1691. In 1716, the Society of Friends disowned him as a heretic, shunning him at meetings where he'd once been welcomed. Even Benjamin Franklin piled on later, mocking the Leeds legacy in Poor Richard's Almanac, with jokes about Titan Leeds' ghost rising to forecast the weather, a rivalry that immortalized the family in print. His home in the Pine Barrens near what is now Smithville felt more isolated after that. It was a simple estate surrounded by towering trees and morning fog that clung to the ground like a shroud, with the distant call of owls punctuating the nights. Some locals started rumors about him dealing with dark forces because of his interest in the stars, whispering that he'd been charting constellations by candlelight long into the wee hours. Daniel married twice, first to Anne Clark, with whom he had several children, and then to Mary Cox. The stories often focus on the second marriage's family line. He died in 1720, leaving behind at least 8 children. To visualize the Leeds tree, picture Daniel as the root, fathering kids like Daniel Jr., who carried on the almanac. His second wife brought more branches, sons like Japhet, who might link to the cursed line. Grandson Titan Leeds took the helm until 1791, churning out additions that blended farming tips with subtle jabs at old foes. This sprawling family, tied by blood and ink, wove itself into the Baron's fabric. In the legends, it grows into a large, troubled clan, paving the way for what came next.
Mary Cox.
Mary Cox.
I've seen it on his face the entire time you were reading. As soon as you said, and he married Mary Cox.
I went, yep.
He was like, yeah, Mary Cox.
I laughed.
I know.
You said Cox.
No, I kind of smiled there because I knew it was going to happen.
The child in Berto, dude. As soon as you did it, I thought you stopped, so you were going to laugh too. So.
Sorry, everybody. I just, that's just
We're
me,
all 12 years old.
basically.
Yeah. What a name, though, Mary Cox.
Yeah.
But
So
what
they
about?
only had 8 children? I thought there were 13.
So I don't think it's like solidified, right? It says the legend says 8, but no, 13 is what comes next.
Okay.
Japhet, his son Japhet, is the one that has 13 kids. Yeah. So I just explained how the Leeds came to be here.
Oh, okay.
What about being a big enough family at that point in time that Benjamin Franklin?
I know,
insults you?
yeah.
He insults you, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got diss tracked by Benjamin Franklin.
That means something.
What about back in the day, though? Like, you literally go up and look at the stars and then get persecuted.
You can see it better back then.
Yeah, but you get persecuted for
Yeah,
it.
you're
Oh,
a
yeah,
heretic
it's-
because you're like, those are the stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the same with
And-
alchemy. Alchemy is the study of metals, isn't it?
I mean,
Well,
we wouldn't have
well,
stronger
yeah.
metals now, would we, if no one did that stuff?
so,
Let's be clear. He wasn't persecuted because he looked at the stars. He was persecuted because he performed or practiced astrology,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Astrology
which is not a
different.
science.
yeah, that's true.
Astrology is like horoscopes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aquarius, Pisces,
Oh,
Sagittarius.
there's the girls I would talk to nowadays. Something's in the 12th house or
Like, because
In the
I'm a
fourth
Libra,
house.
I'm the way I am.
You're a
Yeah.
You're a Libra. A what?
I'm a Libra.
I've
I
never
thought you said
met.
LeBron.
I thought she said LeBron too. I was like,
Like-
damn, dude, LeBron James.
LeBron James. LeBron James.
I've never met a woman who did not know their star sign.
Really?
That's very truthful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big
Do you
thing
guys know your
nowadays.
star signs?
I know
No.
mine.
You don't know your star sign?
What do you mean? Oh, like Gemini?
Yeah, so you
Oh,
know.
yeah, I know that.
You're a
Yeah.
Cancer, aren't you?
What? No,
Yeah.
Gemini.
Oh.
You're Gemini. Okay. Oh, you're the
He's the twins.
twins. Yeah.
Yeah, Nakai's a Gemini. I'm a Gemini.
You have two personalities, buddy.
So,
What's
yeah.
your star sign, CJ?
Yeah.
Cancer. That's why I'm a
That's
dick.
That's what my mom is.
Actually, Cancer makes you an opposite because you're very motherly.
Not at all.
And what are you?
I'm an Aquarius.
Aquarius?
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
water.
That's why we get along.
That's
What are you?
Libra.
Oh, okay.
see, I don't know what stuff.
I don't know what
signs
gets
get
along with what
with
either.
I
I just know that
couldn't tell you.
I'm a water. I'm water. I love water. I'm a fish. The funny thing is, my children are fish. They're Pisces. Well, not all. Well, two of them are Pisces. It is funny because I'm water. They're fish. They were swimming in my balls once. You know what I mean? Like,
I seen where you're going.
There it
with
is.
from the
Like-
start. Yes,
That's male astrology for you.
Yeah, it is.
Astrology.
The signs lined up pretty well on that one.
Yeah.
My daughter, she was born in January. She's what's the beginning of January?
Oh God, that's what my son is. God, why can't I remember? You
It's
just
not
put me on-
Taurus though. Is
No,
it?
it's not Taurus.
Capricorn.
Yes, Capricorn.
Is it Capricorn?
It's
Okay, my daughter is
Capricorn.
Capricorn.
But yeah, I find it funny that you were persecuted for stuff like that back then,
Mhm.
which is most likely what led into the entire buildup of
You were
the
persecuted
Jersey Devil.
for everything back then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You were persecuted
Also-
for having moles.
Alchemy. Not a science. Benny Franklin was all about the science.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it considered what science is the study of metals and stuff now? Is that
It's still a science.
That would be like metals. I'm not sure exactly which one, but
Mm.
instead of alchemy, there'd be chemistry.
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah. So it's chemistry now. But back then, it was called alchemy, and you were persecuted for it.
I'd have been persecuted. I got moles all over my body. I was a witch.
Oh, I guess it was a study of metal, but it was to convert base metals into gold or to find a universal elixir.
Like the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah. So I mean, it was still a study of metal, but
Serious. Yeah.
it was literally to convert metals into gold,
Yeah.
or make elixirs from metals. But speaking of persecution, let's get into the actual next chapter of the Leeds family, and this is what takes over with Japhet and his wife, the 13 kids.
As the years went on, the Leeds name carried a weight in the Pine Barrens. By the 1730s, they were known for hard times. Living far from towns, the family survived on local work, making pine tar for sale by boiling resin over open fires that filled the air with a sticky, smoky aroma, crafting glass in small shops where the heat of the kilns made the summers unbearable, and digging bog iron for tools, their shovels sinking into the wet earth. A typical day for the Leeds: dawn breaking with Mother Leeds rising to tend the hearth, boiling cornmeal mush while kids scatter to the bogs for cranberries. stains on their hands that never washed out, or hauling water from the stream, dodging mosquitoes that swarmed like vengeful spirits. Neighbors, still smarting from the Quaker rift shown in old meeting minutes, kept their distance, trading whispers instead of goods. This isolation bred resentment, turning the cabin into a pressure cooker of survival and superstition. The barrens were full of old beliefs. People talked of strange lights in the swamps called will-o'-the-wisps, those eerie, flickering glows born from marsh gases igniting in the night, that danced like lost souls or trickster spirits, luring the unwary deeper into the bogs toward watery graves. Much like the Lenape warnings of deceptive manitous we'd heard earlier. These flickers appeared like ghostly lanterns on foggy evenings, drawing folks off the paths to their doom, and storms that sounded almost alive, with winds whispering through the pines like voices from another world. The legend centers on Mother Leeds, often called Deborah Smith Leeds in the old stories, though some say Jane. She was likely Daniel's daughter-in-law or a later relative, living in the family cabin, a rough-hewn structure of pine logs, its chimney belching smoke from a central hearth. Middle-aged and tired, her hands calloused from years of scrubbing floors and tending crops. She had 12 children with her husband, Japhet Leeds, probably Daniel's son or grandson. They lived simply, but poverty and old grudges from neighbors made life tough. Whispers about the family's Quaker fallout lingered, painting them as outsiders cursed by their own ambition. In 1735, she learned she was expecting her 13th child. The number 13 felt unlucky back then, tied to old tales and Bible stories of bad omens, like the betrayal at the Last Supper or Judas as the 13th apostle. Colonial folklore brimmed with similar fears. European immigrants brought warnings of changeling births, where the 13th child took on a devilish form, much like Tennessee's Bell Witch legend, where poverty and omens birthed a haunting. Worn out from work and raising kids, with people still whispering about the family's past as they passed the cabin on muddy trails, Mother Leeds was at her limit. During labor, she said something desperate. "Let this one be a devil." This line appears in many retellings, from 19th century printed stories to collections by folklorists like Henry Beck in the 1930s. It captured her pain and the family's struggles, echoing the isolation and hardship that defined life in the Barrens.
And there you have it, the famous line, "Let this one be a devil."
What mom would want her child to be the devil?
The one that has
is
13?
sick
Yeah, I
and
was gonna
tired
say.
of people talking shit.
Yeah.
So she wants to birth a devil to fuck with everyone.
Yo, I bitch with 3 kids and you bitch with 1. Could you imagine?
I mean,
13?
I couldn't imagine giving birth to 2 children.
Yeah. Now go to 12 and then know you're pregnant again.
Close your legs, bitch.
Yeah. Probably easier said than done back in those times.
They definitely didn't know the term hot dog down a hallway.
They definitely didn't.
But that famous line is the one that's repeated through all of the Jersey Devil folklore. Is
Yeah.
let this one be a devil. I mean, we all know the superstitions behind the number 13.
Yeah.
So, and it was definitely still a very prevalent thing back then. Probably more prevalent than it is today. So, even
I
though
mean, you got
today
Friday
we still
13th.
skip it.
You know, Friday 13th. Hotels don't have 13 floors.
Yeah.
It skips the 13th floor.
Yeah, it skips it. Even though Mitch Hedberg said it best.
What?
Come on, people on the 14th floor. You know what floor you're really on, right?
You're the 13th.
13. Jump out the window. You will die earlier. It's one of the greatest jokes by that man. But yeah, I mean, that superstition around 13, I think that's probably, again, I don't want to say whether I disbelieve or believe in the Jersey Devil right off the bat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know when we talked about skinwalkers, me and CJ and David kind of all shot that down, and that's just because the changing of DNA, right? Like,
Yeah.
that one's like one right off the top of my head I just disbelieve in because I don't believe you can add more or take away and transform like a skinwalker does. But believing or not believing, I still lean towards more of the fact that this was just all hysteria based on the number 13 at that point in time.
Very possible.
That would mean that she was just like a witch and just said, "Let it be the devil." And
Maybe. You never know. I mean, back then they were, big and stuff like that.
Well, apparently the Leeds were very big into the occult.
Yeah.
So, I mean, their house and stuff is still around.
is it really?
Yeah, like if we go to the Pine Barrens, these villages like Bastion or whatever, and all those villages are still there. They're protected land, but you can go walk around them. Like I've seen videos of a ton of people on YouTube going there and
I
just
wonder
walking around.
Anybody's gone there and was like, I'm having my baby in this house. I want to see what happens.
I'm sure some weirdo has done that.
Like, let's do a birth.
Probably
in this
not
house.
New Age time, but yeah, I mean, there's probably somebody weird that or has thought about it, but it would still be cool to go walk around the village. Like I said, I think we should go camp there because it's protected land. We're allowed to go walk around it.
Would you sleep in the house?
I don't know if you're necessarily allowed to go in the places.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it is all government sanctioned. Like,
But would you?
would I sleep in it? Yeah, I'm not scared of that shit. I already told you before. If we go like for those listening, we plan on going ghost hunting. We have a ton of trips that we're working on, and we plan on.
We're just building up like equipment and stuff right now.
Yeah. I have podcast studios for on the go. I mean, those are already bought. We're working on buying ghost hunting equipment. We want to go do these things, but I am the white person from the movie It Dies First, 100%. So if we're ever somewhere and something does like screech or whatever, I'm going to go towards it.
Good to know because I can't run very fast, so you'll be the first to go. And
Listen.
hopefully we'll be out by
If
then.
you guys hear me scream, I always said you'll hear me go, get the camera, and you'll just hear me die. Come back and get the camera.
I mean, I'd sleep there for sure.
So I will run towards the noise. Like, so when we go to these investigations and we have the camera on us, all you have to do is just point and I will beeline towards it. So if you hear me scream, that's your indicator to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And then other than that, you're good, dude.
Honestly, I don't know if I would leave. I'd probably go. I would like to try to investigate it because I've seen a lot of videos of people doing ghost huntings and they see something crazy and then they go, oh shit, and they run out the door.
And
Yeah,
they run, yeah. No.
I want to see what is actually over there.
I want to do
Is there something over there?
I want to do no fluff. I'm going to make sure when we go, I watch so many teams do it on YouTube and stuff, and I'm not going to call anybody out by name, but it's fluff.
Mhm.
And it's shaky
100%
cameras.
Yeah, well, that, and it's like everything feels edited. It doesn't feel like you're giving me true responses. Like 99.9% of your EVPs all have a reply on it. Get the fuck out of here. Every place you went to is haunted.
Yeah.
All of them. Every place.
Every place has some ghost saying hi.
Yeah, no, you're full of shit. It should be 99.9 of them have nothing. It should be a miracle to find one thing. And that's what I want ours to be. I want us to go genuinely investigate, and they're probably all going to be bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
And I'm okay with that.
if you don't want a shaky camera, bring a chicken and strap a GoPro to its head.
You can do that. But then you might not get the shot because that chicken's going to be running around
Like a chicken.
Chickens can be very calm.
Yeah, well, they can. Unless they sense ghosts, probably.
I've never thought about the fact that
I-
chickens keep their head
Their
just
head stays in one spot.
in one
dude.
Yeah.
spot.
It's like a mind fuck with that.
They do, actually.
I had
yeah.
to picture
I've
that in
seen
my
that
head,
somewhere.
and I was like, wait, they do
They
on
do.
that strut. They don't move their head. So, but I mean, it's just not even the fucking shaky camera. It's just that everything they do, all of it has some reply,
Mhm.
and that's bullshit. You're doing it for views at this point in time.
And then some
I don't
people just
trust
like
you.
that, though. Some people just like that entertainment
For
factor.
entertainment value, it's
Um,
great. It's like watching Zach Baggins, dude.
I mean, it's like, but think about it. Like, he wouldn't have gone on so long if it wasn't entertaining somehow.
I agree. I agree.
He does what he does. He's a performer too. Obviously, he's trying to make it entertaining for you guys, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure he's encountered some crazy shit for real.
Yeah.
I mean, he did what he did by that one house.
He bought the Ed and Lorraine Warren house.
No, not that one. There was
He
another
bought the
one.
Devil House.
The Devil House that he
Yeah.
had torn down. But you can also look at that as like a publicity thing as well. I mean, I wasn't able to go there, so I can't say it was actually crazy. I mean, I tend to believe things more if it actually happens to me. But I watched that documentary he did on it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, no, it was entertaining.
It-
but like I said, everything coming out of us, even if we go stay in the Pine Barrens, everything we do from this show standpoint, I'm not editing, cutting, and then putting any fluff in. It's going to be either we really found something, but then we sit and actually, you know, let people take their own interpretation too. Because I also hate power suggestion where you watch those and they're like, "Did you hear it? He said get out," and it's really like, and you're like, "What was that?" It's get out, get out. And you're like, "Oh shit, it is get out." And it's just because, you know, you hear what they said now. So,
but I don't want to make it seem like I'm just bashing, you know, Zach. Like,
no, I like watching
I'm sure
Zach stuff.
He's
watched all
entertaining. I take it with a grain of salt.
He's making the
so
Ed and Lorraine Warren,
Yeah.
Ed and Lorraine Warren's house. It's Airbnb.
Yeah.
He's
That'd be
Oh,
cool.
really?
Yeah, he's making it an Airbnb, so you can
Awesome.
go stay in it.
I'd like to go do that.
It's like booked out for years though already. So,
Of course it is.
all right, but we're way off topic. Sorry. So, but anyway, we hope to stay in places like the Pine Barrens. That's definitely one I'd like to put on the map for this year or next year. But following up to the let this be a devil, let's get into what happens to that child, that 13th unlucky child.
The birth happened on a dark, stormy night in 1735. Thunder rolled through the pines like cannon fire, shaking the ground, and rain pounded the cabin roof near Atsion or Smithville, turning the yard into a muddy slurry. Inside, the room was lit by a single flickering candle, and the fire's weak orange light casting long shadows on the rough walls. Mother Leeds labored on a simple bed of straw and quilts, sweat beading on her forehead, with a midwife helping. Her hands steady, but her face etched with worry, and family nearby. Their faces tense in the dim glow, murmuring prayers amid the creaking beams. The wind howled outside like a living thing, rattling the shutters, and occasional lightning flashed, illuminating the faces of pine branches clawing at the windows. The storm wasn't just weather. In colonial eyes, it symbolized divine wrath, like the tempests in Job 39, describing sea monsters roused by God's fury, omens that the heavens themselves disapproved of. The baby came out looking normal at first, a boy, crying as newborns do, his tiny fists waving in the chill air. For a moment, there was hope, a collective sigh in the room as the midwife wrapped him in a clean cloth. But then, things changed fast. The air turned unnaturally cold, as if a draft from the underworld had slipped in, and the candle flame danced wildly before guttering low. The child's head stretched grotesquely into a goat-like shape, small horns curling from his forehead like blackened thorns. Its eyes snapped open, glowing red like hot coals in a forge, piercing the gloom with an otherworldly hatred. Wings pushed out from its back, thin and leathery, like a bat's, unfurling with a soft, tearing sound that made everyone gasp. Its arms elongated, fingers sharpening into razor claws that scraped against the bedsheets. The legs twisted into hooved feet, strong and bent like an animal's for leaping through underbrush. A forked tail appeared, whipping around with a snap, coiling like a serpent. It wasn't a baby anymore. With a horrible sound, a mix of a horse's panicked whinny, a woman's piercing scream, and a snake's venomous hiss, it shook the room, the noise reverberating off the walls and drowning out the storm. It scratched at the cradle with its claws, splintering the wood into jagged pieces that scattered across the floor, then launched itself upward in a whirlwind of smoke and soot from the dying fire, squeezing through the narrow chimney and vanishing into the stormy night, its wings beating against the rain-lashed sky. Mother Leeds and the others were left in shock, the room now silent except for the relentless patter of rain on the roof and their ragged breaths. The midwife, according to later folklore retold in William McMahon's The Pine Barrens, swore an oath of silence that night, but confessed years later to a traveling priest, whispering of the fiend's birth that haunted her dreams. Eyes that burned with hellfire, a form no prayer could banish. That simple home, built of logs in the deep woods, never felt safe again. The hearth's warmth seemed tainted, and every gust of wind carried the echo of that unholy cry.
What about that shit? That baby mutating right before everybody?
Mm-hmm.
So, the goat head's like symbolic of Satanism, so.
No.
The
No.
devil.
No
way. So I wonder.
way, dude. Totally good.
I wonder if that's like the builds on that lore, right?
Could be. I mean, back then, that's their depictions of Satan was with a goat head.
Yeah, goat.
You seen the one in the Book of the Dead, not the book, the book of something. I forget what it's called. It's the one where that priest supposedly wrote the whole book in like a week. It
Yeah,
was like that big giant book.
yeah,
There's a
The
picture of devil.
Necronomicon.
Is that what it is?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
So the
necro-
midwife's story wasn't retold until 1965.
yeah, she like swore an oath to keep silent,
Mhm.
but then ended up like recanting and telling all. Like I said, man, and it's weird too when you hear lores like this. Usually, it's like area to area, it's different, right? Like we all grew up with the person that was decapitated, hung upside down from the tree, and the girl wakes up in the car, and the blood's dripping on top of the
The
car.
book on the car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own version of that. But like what's pretty cool is through everything I watched on the Jersey Devil and writing this, everybody's pretty similar.
Mhm.
It's like one lore that's pretty tight,
Yeah.
right? Like everybody has the same,
Yeah.
let this be a devil. Everybody has the same, transformation process, what it looks like, the goat's head, the horns, the eyes. Like nobody really has a different stance on the lore.
See, and I thought it was just born like that. It's kind of cool to know that it was born a regular baby.
Yeah, it was born
And-
regular, and then it just like elongated its head,
And it just was
mutated,
mutated.
right there.
Are
in
we
front
sure
of
the
it.
mom wasn't an actual goat?
Are we sure the mom wasn't
I
a
mean-
schizophrenic?
I mean, if she was a goat, it
probably
was
schizophrenia or something? played a
Yeah.
part.
maybe. But if she was an
Part-
actual, I mean, it wouldn't. I mean, people are lonely up there sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially back then.
Yeah. Were you sure there wasn't
sheep,
some
I think.
bestiality going on?
I mean, fucking 12 kids.
That's
You're not lonely.
Well-
You're annoyed. You want to be lonely. You long for lonely.
Wasn't big families like a thing back then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
it's probably wasn't uncommon to not
I mean,
have a lot
Yeah,
of
because
children.
you needed more children to work the land. Free
Yeah.
labor.
That, and there was nothing else to do.
I mean, it was
But
like
fuck.
it was like trading coins too
I
back
don't
then.
think
You
they-
know what I mean? You had a
yeah.
good daughter. You marry your daughter to.
I think their
another
condom
good family.
was
That's how
like-
you got livestock.
A lambskin or something. you know
Yeah, it
what
was
I
a
mean?
lambskin.
Yeah.
It was lamb intestine.
So it was like, I don't know how effective that thing is against, pregnancy, but there's probably nothing else to do back then either. And CJ, I believe you're right. There are probably more children to help work the land.
I mean, he's not probably right. He's definitely right.
Oh, yeah,
It was
okay.
100% like
Yeah.
the benefits of having children back then was labor.
Or baseball team.
Yeah, labor and I mean, if
And that's
you,
really how fathers got their farm animals, by trading their daughters.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they get pigs, cattle, steer. But it was, it was like beneficial to your daughter too, because you would want to find a family that has
Money.
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trade your daughter away to somebody who has money. She's had to have not an ugly daughter.
Completely off topic, but do you think when they wrote Waterboy, the Bouchers are descendant from the Leeds? Ben Franklin is the devil?
The devil.
the devil.
The funny part is too, is a lot of
me, your daddy. We're boy
yeah, a lot of the documentaries that are online, there's Leeds in there that they're talking to. Like the Leeds family is still very prominent in the Pine Barrens right
Oh,
now. Yeah. So I think it
It
was
would
like
make sense because, hello, 13 kids?
yeah. I mean, so they're still very prominent in that area of New Jersey.
Hmm.
So
Maybe they still contain the genes to produce another devil.
yeah, who knows,
They
man?
just have to
Who
say,
knows?
I want this to be a devil.
Well, they just have to hit 13, which is not gonna.
Yeah.
Unless you're Mormon nowadays, it's probably not gonna happen. It's the Mormons, right? They have like bajillion kids.
They have a lot of wives, but yes, they probably also have a lot of
Mormons?
kids.
Oh, no, Mormons do have a lot of wives.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
the Quakers.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah. I mean,
The Leeds
I
weren't
just
Quakers
think-
anymore. They were kicked out. So
Oh, that's
they
right.
probably, spoke to Joseph Smith or something.
I'm surprised
just-
you know who that is.
I just think maybe the midwife was the devil because to go from 1735 to 1965,
Right.
230 years.
Wait.
To
Of her story.
speak to a traveling priest.
well, it was retold in the book,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
retold in
but
a
how
book.
many times did it get retold?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing with all these, right? That's why I said earlier, I think it's cool that the lore is pretty tight, right? Is because of the fact so much time passed, you expect it to morph and change.
Of course, it's
and-
like telephone.
Exactly. Yeah, the old game you used to play in school where you tell something and it goes
Nobody
around the
knows what that
circle.
game is anymore, I don't think.
Really?
Probably.
No, because they have actual telephones.
We're
They have
fucking
cell phones.
old now?
Yeah. What's the
Okay.
point of doing that? You get text message.
Okay, well, fuck you guys.
There's no such thing as pound sign. Like
we
were
all
talking
have
about.
19 in our birth date, so they can just deal with it.
I mean, we do all
It's
have
an old
19.
game we played when we were kids where you sat in a big circle and you told a secret to the person to your right. And then they told it to the next person and the next. And then by the time it gets all the way back around the circle, you see how close it is to the actual secret you said at the beginning.
And then you all just laugh hysterically because it's stupid.
Yeah, because it's stupid. And
Yeah.
you cheer if it actually made it all the way around and it's legit, but it never did.
I don't think guys played that game. I think it was
I don't know. They made us.
sleepover or
They
whatever.
had us do it in like English class. And
Oh,
all
yeah, we
kinds
did
of
it in
stuff
English
when I
class,
was
yeah.
when I was in like sixth grade
Yeah.
or fifth grade
They
or
had
some
us do it
shit.
in like history too.
But I mean, to his point though, like how many times it was retold, I think it actually is pretty cool that through all that retelling, no matter which documentary you watch or which account you read online, it's a pretty tightened up lore. You know what I mean? There's
Probably
not
why
a
it's one
ton of
of variation.
yeah. So it's pretty cool. I mean,
Okay.
there's a ton of them we grew up with that are all morphed, and this one is pretty spot on every single time.
Yeah. Okay.
But I would absolutely cringe, but at the same time, I don't think I could look away if I seen a baby just start morphing into a goat man with wings. It'd be pretty badass.
No, I agree. You want to learn more about the devil and the barons?
Yeah, dude. Let's jump into more information about the now devil, Luce and the Barons.
After that night, the Jersey Devil, sometime called the Leeds Devil, roamed the Pine Barrens. Stories say it flew to the coast, bothering ships with its shrieks that mimicked distress calls, luring sailors to rocky shores. But it always came back near the Leeds place, drawn by some invisible tether. People found hoofprints in the snow leading right to their door, then vanishing as if into thin air, the marks deep and cloven like goats. Animals were found hurt or dead, with strange marks, gashes from claws, feathers scattered as if from a frantic struggle, and at night you'd hear cries from the woods that made your skin crawl, a chilling blend of animal and human that froze the blood in your veins. Some tales say it went after the other Leeds children, circling their dreams or leaving warnings scratched into doors, but others think it left them alone in a strange way, as if bound by the curse that birthed it. The family home fell apart over time, logs rotting in the damp, vines overtaking the sagging porch, and the Leeds spread out, their name tied to bad luck like a shadow that followed them to new towns. Real Leeds descendants still live in New Jersey today, some running tours in Leeds Point. They deny the curse, but embrace the lore, turning the old homestead site into a draw for ghost hunters, with signs warning, "Enter at your own risk." The story grew in the 1800s through newspapers and local talk, passing around taverns where men swapped tales over mugs of ale. It really took off in 1909, during the Jersey Devil Mania, a full-blown panic that gripped South Jersey for weeks. Here's the timeline. It started January 1st with reports in Woodbury of luminous wings over rooftops. By the 16th, schools closed in Burlington as kids refused to walk alone. Mills in Gloucester shut down, workers downing tools after a foreman spotted hoofprints by the river. The Philadelphia Bulletin printed daily dispatches, including a January 19th hunt with bloodhounds that trailed the scent to the swamp, only for the dogs to yelp and flee. Zoos checked for escaped kangaroos, but nothing turned up. Over 100 witnesses stepped forward, from cops to trolley drivers, turning the Barrens into a no-go zone after dark, with armed posses patrolling the pines. No real proof of the birth exists. It's all from folklore, oral histories handed down like heirlooms. But the Leeds family was real, shown in old records from the 1700s and 1800s, including Quaker meeting minutes and land deeds. Daniel's grandson Titan Leeds kept making the almanac until 1791, his additions still warning of eclipses and planting times. Experts, like Gary D. Symes in his 2004 book, The Legend of the Jersey Devil, and James H. McCree's 1909 notes, say the tale grew from old fights with the Quakers and the family's real troubles, poverty, isolation, and the eerie atmosphere of the Barrens itself. Of course, theories abound. Was it a family curse, fueled by Daniel's heresy, or a hoax, like the 1909 circus kangaroo escape theory, where someone dressed a freak animal in wings? Some say it's a cryptid, a mutated bird, or surviving pterosaur-like beast adapted to the bogs, as Lauren Coleman suggests in Mysterious America. Brian Riegel's The Secret History of the Jersey Devil even ties it to class tensions, the poor Leeds demonized by elites. Devil or delusion? You tell us. Drop your theory in the comments or email us at mystory@paramurdercast.com. The Barrens don't care. They just wait.
Yeah, that's a little history there.
Guys like the story of
Yeah,
the Jersey
I do.
Devil?
Of the Jersey Devil, yeah.
The Leeds family story? I think it's pretty cool.
That's a good one. Yeah.
It'd be fucking badass to be a Leeds.
It reminded me, one part reminded me of Sirens going after sailors.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, leading them away.
Yeah.
Like it goes out to fuck with boats.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's spottings too. If you look at the map of sightings of the Jersey Devil, it's sighted all the way up into New York. So it's not just the Pine Barrens, right? There's sightings of it in remote parts
There's
in
probably
New York.
multiple. If I don't think there's one that has lasted that long. I'm sure there's like generations of them.
Well, this is a good part to bring up your question, where you said how likely is it that, maybe the Jersey Devil and Mothman are the same thing?
Yeah, that's very possible. They could be. I mean, they are generally in the same area.
They're not far off.
Like their regions are pretty close to. I think they're actually right next to each other, only divided by a river, a big river.
Yeah, was that the Potomac? Or the Potomac's further down, actually.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think the Potomac River's further down. But yeah, they're only separated by some water masses. But
both are flying creatures, so water mass separation does not count.
Yep,
No.
correct.
So you never know. They could be the same thing. I know they're described differently, but different regions, different people, different times. Every time it's been dark, your eyes could play tricks on you.
We just need to be the cool fucking lucky few that when we go do the Mothman investigation in an episode,
Get it and capture it.
that we just fucking see it. I don't even need to capture it.
We just need
dude.
a really big net.
I just want to see it. That'd be dope.
So if we caught the Mothman, do you think if we touched it, it would leave that weird powder stuff on us like a regular moth would?
I don't know. If it
You
is
know what I'm talking about?
indeed
They got
really
that
a
weird powder
Mothman,
stuff. You ever killed a moth and left like an imprint?
It might.
It leaves like that dust.
I feel bad to say that I killed a moth because moths they're just annoying. I don't think I've ever had a moth bite me,
Well,
but
go the fuck away from my light. It's my light.
it's my light. Get out of here. They don't attack either. They're just annoying, but they're actually adorable. Like they're adorable if you get a close up
Yeah.
on them. So
And you killed one.
I've killed a few of them.
Yeah.
I kill bugs. I'm
They
not a
eat
big
your
bug
clothes.
person. That's fine. They don't eat my face.
No, but they do
That's
eat your
roaches.
clothes.
Roaches will eat your skin.
Yeah.
If you got roaches in your home, what happens is you go to
You're
sleep.
making me itchy.
They'll crawl on your face. They'll drink your tears that are coming out of your eyes and eat your eyelashes.
Ew.
That's what they do. And dead skin.
That's pretty gross. But anyway, now we get to get into the fun
You guys
part.
are like, fuck you. I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Everyone's itchy right now.
yeah. Now we get to the fun part though.
Yeah.
And the fun part is the sightings, man.
Yeah.
I love looking into the sightings. So
Is there any video sightings? Do we know?
so there's a few of these that refer to photos, and
Okay.
I looked at the photos. They're pretty easy to find. So if you're listening, I mean, I'll try to grab them and throw them in the show notes as well.
Mm-hmm.
All of our show notes, by the way, are at paramurdercast.com, and then you go to episodes. That's where our show notes go.
I think
But-
the most recent one, well, it's not even a video. It's that audio recording. I think
2025.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Jersey Devil is spotted so often, man. Like it is not a uncommon occurrence for somebody
Yeah.
to report it.
Yeah.
And it makes it feel more legit because a lot of these people see it in groups. It's not a lot of solo people. Like every time you hear about Bigfoot being spotted, it's like Joe Schmo driving down the road by himself, right? But the Jersey Devil seems to get spotted in a lot of groups. So it's either that there's something, tangible to it, and there's something out there that, people are mistaking for it. Either that or there's something out there causing some type of mass hysteria. You know what I mean? Because it's not just spotted by one people. Like the one that we'll go over in 2025, I think there was 4 people there at the same time. And they all explained the same thing. And then the documentary I watched, the mother and son that seen it, they went and took lie detector tests and they passed their lie detector test.
But what else could it be?
I mean, there's, again...
unless it's just some big-ass bat.
No, I mean, CJ mentioned it earlier. Your brain does what it's supposed to do. So maybe it's just a bear.
If you believe what you're saying, like, subconsciously, you're going to pass a lie detector test.
Yeah. So, like, and if you're born in the
lie
area...
detector tests don't determine whether someone's lying. It determines whether or not...
whether you believe it.
Yeah, whether you believe it. Yeah, if you believe it, you'll pass. But I mean, going with
if you build it, they will come.
Yeah, but going with what he said, like if you're born in that area and you're a believer and you believe the Jersey Devil is real, and then you are in the Pine Barrens, and then a bear stands up on its hind legs and steps out at you.
Or hear a weird noise. Now I know how to kill somebody and get away with it.
So you just got to believe you didn't do it. So, but literally, like if that bear steps out and it's in a shadow and it's cast the right way and you're already a believer and it scares you, you're going to do what he said. You're going to see what you already think, that you're expecting to see. If you're already expecting to know that the bump in the night in the Pine Barrens is the Jersey Devil, you're going to fucking believe your own suggestion. And then you walk away and your brain just keeps adding to that picture. Like, no, there was definitely red glowing eyes. Yeah. There was definitely goat horns. It definitely made a cry between a horse and a baby and all this stuff. So, and you just, that power of suggestion just keeps building. But it's just weird to see that happen with 4 people at a time.
At the same time, yeah.
Yeah. And they all get split up and still tell you the same story. Like, that's some hard-ass suggestion. You know what I mean? That's the thing that always makes me trip out when I look at cryptids.
There's usually one rational person in the group.
Exactly. Yeah. There's one person in there. It's like, no, I'm pretty sure that was a black bear. You know what I mean? Because it said they're very rare in the area. Yeah. So, but for all 4 to just dive on board, have the same story, describe the same thing, I want to go out there and camp and walk around, dude.
I do too. I definitely want to.
I'm gonna tie a piece of jerky to my ass and maybe I'll walk around.
Bring like a SLS camera or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Bring that. See if we can see a stick figure out there.
Maybe we can get some deer cameras.
That dude, I don't want to investigate this house, but I do want to investigate this house.
Yeah.
Yeah, this apartment. I'm not gonna mention names because I don't want the person. I know them and I don't know if they'll listen, but. I know somebody who passed away in here, and just seeing that fucking stick figure sitting in the chair when you busted that out, it's still kind of creepy.
Oh, it still sticks with you?
Yeah, it's still kind of creepy. It was just weird.
You were like...
Because you even were like, what the fuck? Why is there one in there? And then David was like, I went to touch, and remember, it like retched up too, and David was like, nah, man, I'm cool with that, dude.
For those of you that are wondering, no, I was not recording. I was just showing them what it looked like, and that's when we saw that. So
yeah, he was showing us a SLS camera, and we were all 3 standing beside him looking at it, and he went to point it at where our studio is, and there's a chair there, and there was just a stick figure sitting in the chair. And then our old host David went to like reach his hand out, like, oh, there ain't nothing there. And then like as he reached out, the little stick figure like reached out towards his hand too. And we were like, yeah, no, that's pretty weird. It happened literally like right where I'm sitting.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. And I was like, man, I kind of want to know, but I don't want to know.
And of course, the skeptic was not there.
So,
and of course, I did not get it on video.
I know.
Dun, 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 dun.
But it's like that weird part where people tell you if you want to know what really goes on in your house, set like a night camera, night mode camera up and point it at yourself.
Flower on the
I don't want to do that because as soon as I see my fucking blanket move or something, like, and it picks up and moves off my leg, then I just can't live.
That's why I won't do those. That's why I don't do those sleeping recording apps that record you while you're sleeping.
Yeah, I don't want to
says
hear
like
nothing.
you farted or there was a noise, you said something. No, I don't want to hear myself say incoherent things while I'm asleep because it's just going to freak me the fuck out.
Or just something whispers into it.
Like I'm sleeping, all of a sudden I'm fucking like reciting some kind of demonic,
You start speaking in Nokia.
hymn.
It starts speaking.
Yeah. Speaking in tongues or some weird stuff. Like I didn't know I could speak that language.
Oh,
My arms are doing this or something.
Start summoning the devil.
Yeah, summoning the devil in my sleep, and he keeps coming and tickling my foot, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Your bed monster starts
But-
singing
yeah,
you to
bed
sleep.
yeah.
Let's get into the glimpses of the Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil didn't stay hidden. Over the years, people shared their encounters in letters, newspapers, and interviews, like those in Henry Beck's 1939 book, Jersey Genesis, where witnesses describe the terror in shaky handwriting. Those stories keep the legend going, painting the Barrens as a place where the veil between worlds thins. Here are some of the most talked about ones, each a window into what folks saw and felt.
During the Revolution around 1778 near Clarksburg, a dense fog rolled in from nearby streams like a living shroud, blanketing the Continental camp in a world of muffled sounds and ghostly whites. The air heavy with the damp, loamy scent of wet earth and the sour tang of unwashed wool from the soldiers' threadbare uniforms. Low fires crackled sporadically under overturned kettles to evade British scouts, their meager flames casting jittery shadows across canvas tents, patched with pine boughs that dripped condensation onto the ground. Sentries paced the fog-enshrouded perimeter, muskets slung heavy over shoulders, their boots squelching in the mud as breaths fogged in the deepening chill, every rustle in the underbrush setting triggers to twitch. The night was alive with distant echoes, the low boom of artillery in the front lines miles away, the snort of tethered horses stamping nervously. Then came the rustling, a subtle whisper of the leaves, parting, escalating to a sharp snap of twigs that froze the young sentry, posted near a gnarled oak, his heart thudding as he strained into the opaque haze. A figure materialized step by deliberate step, hooves sinking into the soft, yielding ground with wet, thudding impacts, wings folded tight against a hulking, hunched frame that blended with the mist like a demon from soldiers' whispering tales. It drew nearer, silent now, but for the heavy, labored breathing that rasped like bellows, carrying a foul miasma of rot and brimstone that clawed at the sentry's throat and made his eyes water. Red eyes pierced the fog, glowing with an unholy intensity, fixed on him as if weighing his soul. The man's fingers whitened on his musket, pulse roaring in his eyes louder than the camp's snores. Panic overtook training. He leveled the barrel and fired. The explosion, a deafening thunderclap that lit the mist in a brief, hellish flash. Acrid powder, smoke stinging his nostrils and eyes as the shot howled into the dark. No body crumpled, but the creature recoiled, with a venomous hiss that slithered through the trees, vanishing as swiftly as it had appeared. Dawn broke to reveal the fog lifting like a reluctant curtain over dew-kissed ferns and trampled grass. The camp stirred to a buzz of fear, cloven tracks, deep, erratic imprints circling the tents like a predator's taunt, and the horses whinnying in fresh panic, their flanks scored with thin, weeping claw marks that spoke of a brush with the infernal. The men doubled patrols that night, muskets primed, the war's chaos now laced with something far older and wilder from Barron's heart. The story comes from regimental journals and veteran testimonies collected in Howard Green's 1985 book, Wood's Patriot, where a descendant of the sentry described his ancestors' account. The beast breathed hell's fire upon us, eyes like demons from the wood, in tracks that mocked our shot. The Barons fought the war on its own terms.
In the 1820s, Joseph Bonaparte, ensconced in exile near Bordentown, set out hunting at the cusp of dusk with a tight-knit party of retainers, their boots sinking softly into the needle-carpeted forest floor that muffled steps and released a sharp, resinous pine scent with every stride. The air cooled rapidly, carrying the first hints of night, crickets tuning up in the underbrush, the indigo sky pricking with emerging stars above the dense canopy, rifles gleaming faintly in the fading light as they pushed through the thickets in pursuit of deer, breath steady and conversations low. A sudden crack shattered the rhythm, like a dry branch snapping under immense weight, freezing the group amid the tangle of ferns and vines, as heavy, uneven breathing stirred the leaves ahead, hot and animalistic. Emerging into the moonlit clearing, ringed by twisted cedars that stood like ancient sentinels, the devil reared tall on its hind legs, wings partially spread in a display that cast elongated shadows across the silvered grass, its red eyes blazing like twin lanterns ignited in the night, piercing the gloom with predatory focus. Hooved feet pawed with the loamy soil, kicking up puffs of dust that danced in the moonlight, while its forked tail twitched with coiled tension, the musky reek of damp fur and underlying decay wafting on the breeze like a foul premonition. Bonaparte lifted his elegant English rifle, the stock cool against his cheek, spine prickling with a chill unrelated to the descending cold, as the creature locked gazes, its elongated snout curling into a snarl that revealed jagged teeth. Then the scream erupted, the cacophonous fusion of a horse's frantic, high-pitched neigh and a human's tormented wail, shattering the clearing's peace, exploding birds from the branches in a feathered frenzy that beat the air. With an explosive leap, hooves thundered against the earth in a vibration felt in the chest. It bounded into the enveloping darkness, leaving a trail of snapped saplings and gouged furrows in the soft ground. Bonaparte lowered his weapon slowly, his aristocratic face drained of color under the moon's pallor. The party rooted in stunned silence as the echo faded. He spoke little of it publicly, but by his fireside later, flames crackling against the chill, he admitted to intimates that the barons harbored beasts fiercer than any Napoleonic battlefield, a raw, American horror that humbled even an emperor's brother. The hunt dissolved into a hurried retreat, the night's magic forever tainted by those glowing eyes. This encounter is relayed through the Bonaparte's biographer Charles J. Still's 1914 memoir, The Life of Joseph Bonaparte, drawing from the prince's private journals. In the Jersey gloom, a demon rose, wings shadowed, eyes infernal, its cry a warhorse's death throe mingled with mortal fear. My shot wavered, it fled, but the wilds of this land mock emperors.
Fast forward to November 1978, near Gibsontown in Gloucester County, where the barons bled into suburban edges. Patrolman O'Neill was cruising Route 322 at 2 a.m. The road slick with autumn rain, his cruiser's wipers slapping rhythmically as radio static crackled about routine calls. Mist rose from the ditches, pine-scented and thick, headlights washing the shoulders in blue-white beams. Then, a massive shadow detached from the tree line, wings spanning 10 feet, gliding low over the asphalt, with a whoosh that rocked the car. O'Neill slammed the brakes, tires squealing, as the devil crossed the road, its red eyes reflecting in his mirror like brake lights from hell. It was no bird. The form was bipedal, hooves skimming the pavement, a tail trailing sparks from the wet surface. He radioed it in, voice cracking. Something big, flying, headed east, and pursued at 60 miles an hour. But it veered into the woods with a screech that shattered his calm. No tracks in the mud by morning, just a shaken report in the logs. Later it featured in Weird New Jersey magazine. Cops still joke about it, but O'Neill carried the weight of those eyes till retirement. In his police dispatch log and subsequent Weird New Jersey interview in 1980, O'Neill testified, "Shadow crossed my lights, wings wide, red eyes like taillights from below. Radio pursuit, but the screech hit like brakes on ice. Bipedal thing, no owl, stared me down before vanishing. Logs official, no joke."
In August 2008, deep in the Bass River State Forest, during a humid summer night, A group of campers huddled about a fire pit, the crackle of flames mixing with the chorus of crickets in the distant lap of Lake Absagami. Tents glowed orange under the stars, the air heavy with mosquito repellent and charred marshmallows, when a low growl cut through, not animal, but guttural, like gravel in a throat. Flashlights swept the dark as the devil emerged from the cedars, wings folded, eyes glowing red in the firelight, its snout sniffing the wind. It stalked the perimeter, claws crunching leaves, the group frozen as it screamed. That signature hoarse human hiss sent embers swirling. One camper snapped a blurry photo on an old digital camera, showing a winged blur before it lunged at the cooler, scattering food, then launched skyward with powerful flaps that bent branches. Rangers dismissed it as a bear, but the photo circulated online, tied to UFO reports that night. Lights in the sky, perhaps, drawing it out? The campers packed up at dawn. The forest peace forever cracked. Group member Mike T. posted the account on Weird New Jersey forums in 2008. Growl from the dark, the red eyes by the fire, stalked us, stench like wet rot. Screams shook the tents, snapped the blur as it charged the cooler. Wings beat hard, gone up. Rangers said bear, but that hiss, no way. Not with the UFO lights that night.
On a foggy October dawn in 2015 along the Molucca River near Green Bank, avid fisherman David Harlan cast his line from a rickety dock, the water murmuring against pilings, mist cloaking the pines like a veil. Coffee steamed in his thermos, the air crisp with fallen leaves. When the ripples broke the calm, not fish, but something rising from the shallows, the devil waded out, hooves splashing, wings dripping as it shook off water. Red eyes fixed on him from 20 yards. Harlan's rod clattered as it approached, tail slicing the surface, a low hiss building to a roar that echoed off the trees. He backpedaled, boat rocking, firing a warning shot from his .38, the crack splitting the fog, but it twisted away, screeching defiance, and flew low over the river, vanishing into the canopy. Fish scattered for miles, and Harlan's tail, complete with the wet tracks on the dock, made local news as a devil sighting. Amid rising cryptid tourism, no bites that day, but the memory hooked him for life. Harlan described it in a NewJersey.com interview, October 2015, with dock photos. Ripples from the shallows, hooves splashing, eyes red, and locked on me, wings wet and flapping. Hiss to roar hit like thunder. Shot scared it, but screech echoed as it flew low. Tracks cloven in the mud, no fish, no drone. Hooked something from hell.
It was a clear, biting December night in the heart of Wharton State Forest, the full moon hanging fat and low over the tangled oaks and stunted spines, casting the sandy trail in a silvery wash that turned every fallen needle into a gleaming spike. The group, two couples in their 30s, bundled in wool layers against the 28-degree chill, packs heavy with tents and thermoses of hot cider, trudged the Batona Trail's winding path, their headlamps bobbing like fireflies as laughter echoed off the distant bog waters. The air was crisp, laced with the sharp tang of frozen cedar and damp moss from a recent thaw. The only sounds were their crunching boots and the occasional hoot of a barred owl patrolling the canopy. They'd pause for a break near the Carranza site. Remember, that's where the aviator's memorial stands, a lonely obelisk amid the ruins of his crashed plane, sharing trail mix from under the moon's glow when a low, guttural rustle stirred from the thickets to the east, like branches parting under something heavy and deliberate. At first, they dismissed it as a deer or fox. But then came the eyes, two red orbs flickering to life in the underbrush, low to the ground at first, then rising as a shape detached from the shadows. Wings folding partially, a horned silhouette, half man, half beast, standing about 7 feet tall on cloven legs that pawed the frost-kissed earth. The hikers froze, breath-catching invisible plumes as it stepped into a shaft of moonlight. Leathery skin stretched taut over a goatish head, forked tail twitching behind like a live wire. The musky stench of wet hide and sulfur wafting on the breeze like a foul exhale from the bog. One woman snapped photos on her phone, the flash catching scales and claws that gleamed before the creature let out its signature screech. A piercing blend of a horse's wail, woman's cry, and a snake's hiss that vibrated their chests and sent a nearby flock of crows exploding skyward in black panic. It didn't charge, just paced the trail's edge for what felt like minutes, red eyes locking on them with unnerving intelligence, before flapping those vast wings, leathery snaps cutting the night, and gliding low over their heads towards the Mullica River, vanishing into the misty tree line with a final echoing growl. The group bolted back to their cars by 11 p.m., hearts pounding, the photos showing a grainy winged form, debunked by skeptics as a large turkey vulture or Periodelia. But the audio from a GoPro captured that unmistakable call. No tracks in the soft sand next day, rained out, but the Institute filed it with NJ Depp as an unidentified wildlife encounter, and it sparked a mini-mania on Reddit's r/cryptozoology, with locals saying the devil was stirred by holiday crowds encroaching on the Barrens. Group leader Emily R. detailed it in a sworn statement to the Philadelphia Inquirer with GoPro audio. Russell to red eyes rising, huge, pacing with sulfur reek, screeching vibrating our ribs like judgment. Flash caught horns and claws. It glided over and went to the river. Audio proves no vulture howls like that. These sightings, old and new, show how the Jersey Devil sticks around, tied to the pines like roots to soil. Whether real or not, they remind us the Barrens hold mysteries that defy explanation.
That's it, boys and gal. That's the Jersey Devil.
I like that newest sighting. Makes me want to go to that exact location because it might still be there.
Yeah, I've seen a ton of videos of people going.
I like that sighting and the cop sighting.
The cop
Yeah.
sighting was a good one. I did
Yeah.
like that one. Yeah.
It seems like a lot of people go during 2025. I mean, it seemed like I found tons of videos of people just going out there to camp. And they don't seem to keep track of it neither. I seen a documentary that had the mayor of that local town right there
Yeah.
by the Barrens, and he was talking about it, and he's like, we don't really keep track of the tourism we get based on the Jersey Devil. He was like, that's, never been kind of our thing, which is weird because you expect, you have like Area 51, you know what I mean? Like all those places around there are built to attract you for Area 51. And it's the same way in multiple other areas. So it's just kind of cool
I mean,
to see
Mothman,
that,
kind of like when you get into that area, you see some Mothman stuff, and then
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, even them still putting that up, it's cool to see that, like, to them, this is like so nonchalant that they're like, we don't even build like the tourism on it. I know
Yeah.
they have like the hockey team named after the Jersey Devil, but it's cool to see that they're not like really trying to bid you up to come in there for it. Makes it feel, I guess, more believable when you're like, oh, the town's just kind of all like, it's just part of our town.
I wonder if they keep track of people who camp out there.
That's what he said. He said they didn't really keep track of, like, I'm sure there's like a log of campers, but
That's what I mean. If like they keep
Yeah.
track of people, I wonder if anybody's gone missing.
I don't know. I mean, that'd be a fun thing to look in.
I mean, this creature's never killed people. It's just there to scare you off because it's its
it's
own,
never
probably.
killed people.
Well, I mean, they don't know if it has. I know that's been asked in a few documentaries I watched. Is there any missing reports and stuff? I'd be curious to look at like missing 411.
Yeah.
And see if there is anybody missing. When it comes to all these cryptids, right? We're going to cover Bigfoot and skinwalkers and the Jersey Devil again. We've already covered them now on the show. These will be things we cover again, right? Because you can't just ignore future sightings that are going to come out in, you know, this year in 2026.
Maybe we'll have like an update episode or something.
Oh, I would definitely like to do. So we're going to do an update episode on Bigfoot, and we're going to do that when we do Bigfoot Fest here in May. You know what I mean? Because we're going to actually get to go and, I'm going to nerd out while I'm there. I'm going to go listen to the speakers because some of those guys are the people that you see on TV that go hunt Bigfoot. I'm going to go listen to them and talk about seeing the interviews that they do and stuff. And I'm going to actually, probably see if I can't go walk around a little bit in Red River Gorge right there.
Hunt Bigfoot out in the woods.
We can.
So
Yeah.
I plan on getting us a cabin
Yeah.
So
maybe we can find Bigfoot.
Hopefully we can get a cabin that's just out there, dude, and we'll just go sit out there. You know, maybe we'll record the podcast out on the back balcony or something.
Yeah, we could
in
do
the
that,
middle
yeah.
of night or something, you know? Do it where it's kind
Where
of
we can hear the owls.
Yeah, we can hear the CJ hooing, you know? But I think it'd be cool, you know? And like I said, maybe we'll do Jersey Devil again if we can get together, all of us going there for a camping trip. You know, these are ones that I think we can do. It just depends on if we can line them up with CJ getting time off, you getting time off, and I know I can take time off, and she can work from home, so she can take time off. Miss Amanda.
How do you feel about listening to the sightings and the story, all that stuff about the Jersey Devil? Obviously, I would
Does it
probably
make
say you
you
still
a
don't
believer?
believe as much, but what are your thoughts on it? You think these people are just crazy, making it up, seeing what they see?
Yeah, I don't think it exists.
Yeah. But CJ is going to be such a good indicator if something really happens.
Yeah.
Right?
He can call bullshit.
Because he's so skeptic that if we actually do go on like a ghost hunt or we do something and something actually happens, it's not going to be three of us who kind of want to believe in the paranormal trying to explain it to somebody, because it makes it feel like, oh, well, they already want to believe. You know, when CJ gets on the podcast and goes, hey, listen, I don't know what the fuck it was, but some shit went down.
Yeah.
That's when people are going to be like, oh, maybe some shit fucking happened to them guys. You know what I mean? That's why it's good to have that person who's skeptic is, you know, he's going to be able to do that. And plus, I don't want to be on a ghost hunt and me and you hear something knock and we take off running. And then CJ's just sitting there staring at a beam that popped like, these guys are fucking idiots.
House is settling. Cabin settling still. You know?
Cabin literally settling, and there was just a pop that I just witnessed, you know.
Looks at us and goes, guys, this cabin was built
I'll
3
be
months
carrying
ago.
a stick with some tissues on the end of it so I can go, hey, look, there's a vent there, guys.
About you, Amanda? What do you think about listening to the stories of the Jersey Devil? How
I
do you feel about it?
I think that the cops' story is plausible.
Okay.
But beyond that, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I believe the cop.
Mhm.
yeah, you're not a big believer in cryptids. So
I'm not,
It's
but-
cool to hear you even say that like one story was
Listen, it
somewhat
weren't no
plausible.
owl.
It weren't no owl.
There weren't no owl. There ain't no owl.
Yeah.
I think to hear the cop's story is a good indicator that there is something. Now, whether it's the Jersey Devil, I mean, I don't know. But
Okay, that brings up a good question to your point then, and stuff that maybe even listeners can, you know, comment or, you know, hit us up on Facebook about this post when the episode's out and let us know what you think. But a good question for you then, Amanda, is does one reputable person having a sighting make you more convinced than multiple positioned of power people having sightings? So one cop or one military colonel, is that more believable to you in a story than 75 locals who
Yes.
are maybe a grocer and,
100%.
really?
Yes.
How do you feel about all these stories, Daniel?
I mean, I like them, man. I grew up fascinated by the paranormal, so Jersey
Same.
Devil's been around for a long time for me. I really like the whole entire background on it. I think it would be a blast to go out there and stay, and if anything, we can all go hiking through the woods and it'll be some fun fucking times, but it would still be cool to go out there and see if there's anything out there. I've said it before we got on the podcast. I watch a lot of documentaries, tons of them. That's really what sparked me doing
Same.
the show.
I think honestly, the Jersey Devil for me is one of the ones that probably sparked my interest in cryptids more. My mother grew up in New Jersey, so I
Yeah.
heard the stories about a Jersey Devil from her. So she would tell me some stuff,
Yeah.
you know. But she didn't grow up in the South, like in the Pine Barrens or anything. She was up North Jersey, toward New York. But even though the stories are up there as well.
Yeah, it's
So-
all the way up into
But
New York.
I like cryptid stories. I don't know if they're real because I've never seen them. I would like to say, hey, they're real, because that would be kind of crazy.
How could they not? I mean, in some way, how could they not be real? If
That's
you think
true.
of evolution,
You don't know.
I
You
mean-
really don't know what's in those mountains or woods or whatever.
I like to think of myself as an open-minded skeptic, right? That's how I try to picture myself as somebody who believes in the paranormal. Like, I don't think I necessarily 100% buy into everything, ghosts, demons,
not
cryptids.
100% for me,
But I like to keep an open mind in the fact that I don't think humans are capable of discovering everything that's out there
I
yet.
agree. They're still discovering stuff in the ocean.
Yeah, especially like I told you, from me watching so many documentaries, I can tell you that like I used to watch when they would try to go after chimpanzees, like we talked about before the show, or they would go after, shots of silverback gorillas. And it takes these documentary makers, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, months, man, to track them down in the wilderness.
So, I mean, there's a good chance if we go and we look for these things, we're probably not going to find it.
I think most of the time, if there is something there, you see it because either A, it was curious,
or you've lived there long enough for you to finally see it.
yeah, or you've lived there just and had a chance encounter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Pine Barrens are 1 million miles of woods, 1 million acres. So 1 million acres of woods, man, that's,
Well,
if there's
even-
something in there with even basic intelligence and it's predatorial, that means it has a good sense of when to flee and when not to flee.
Mm-hmm.
That means that if you're walking, all these animals can hear way better than us,
Oh, yeah.
and it's just going to move. It's going to move away from you.
Well, even if we don't find it, maybe we find a scratch.
Oh yeah. I watched a video that was done and they went in there and there was tons of scratches on the trees.
Yeah.
And then they were, and I liked how they approached it too. They went up and they were like, well, is this just somebody with a knife? You know what I mean? Like trying to make it that way. But then they found like some pretty cool scratches, like way far away. And so it turned out pretty cool.
Yeah, or we hear a howl, or
Yeah. If we hear a howl, just know I'm going to run at it. I just hope I don't get bit by a snake. That's like the biggest part. I'll go run at it. But I think it turned out as a good episode. And we hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. And we hope you stay tuned afterwards to join us because we are going to be covering the Taylor Schabusiness case. So, and that is going to be on Patreon for $4.99. So please go sub and help us out. And let's hit the outro, guys.
As we pull back from the Pine Barrens' misty depths, Daniel Leeds' cursed stars fade. Mother Leeds' desperate words birth a winged terror in that stormy cabin, and centuries of hoof prints and red eyes stares. From Quaker crashes to Batonia-tailed shadows linger like the devil's breath on your neck. We've traced its claws through history's underbrush, but the Barrens whisper it's still out there, waiting in the fog for the next cry to echo. Curse, cryptid, or the wild's revenge? You tell us. Thanks for tuning in to the Paramurdercast. Got a devil tale or story fit for the Paramurdercast? Email mystory@paramurdercast.com or hit us up at the PMcast on socials. Make sure to subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and share the chills. Join us after today's show for our first Patreon episode, The Taylor Schabusiness Case. Subscribe for only $4.99. Until then, don't follow lights in the dark. Stay safe. And as always, keep the lights on and the doors locked, because not all stories end with the credits.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you join us again. Until then, may your nights be restless and your dreams haunted. And beware the things that go bump in the night.
This isolation bred resentment, turning the cabin into a pressure cooker.
I'm sorry, it was the way you said it just got me.
It was-
straight got me.
Me too.
Thanks.
I don't
Thanks,
know.
guys.
I'm sorry. Pressure cooker. My guy went to Boston right there, dude. You're supposed to read about Jersey, not go there in your mind, dude.
Sorry.
It's literally a Jersey accent on cooker right there. Hey, is Ma got that pressure cooker?
stop laughing.
Sorry. CJ's like, I fucking hate you all right now.